about this? We were discussing the Holocaust.
No, they won't be able to read that.
Well, we can try. The books are just sitting here.
Look at their reading scores. And if I give your kids these books, I'll never see them again. And if I do, they'll be damaged.
What about these? Romeo and Juliet. That's a great gang story.
No, not the books. This is what we give them. It is Romeo and Juliet, but it's a condensed version. But even these, look how they treat them. See how torn up they are? They draw on them.
Miss Campbell, they know they get these because no one thinks they're smart enough for real books.
I don't have the budget to buy new books every semester when these kids don't return them.
So what do I do? Buy their books myself?
Well, that's up to you, but you'll be wasting your money.
Is there someone else I can speak to about this?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but I don't understand. Does the Long Beach Board of Ed agree that these books should just sit here and not be used at all?
Let me explain. It's called site-based instruction. It means that I and the principal each have the authority to make these kinds of decisions without having to go to the board who have bigger problems to solve. Do you understand how it works now?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to overstep your authority. I would never do that. I don't know how to make them interested in reading with these.
You can't make someone want an education. The best you can do is try to get them to obey, to learn discipline. That would be a tremendous accomplishment for them.
Since you know Margaret better than I do, if I could just get some backup from you. I really think that the stories like The Diary of Anne Frank and that they'd be so great for them. And she doesn't seem to understand that they could relate to these stories considering all that they've faced.
Oh, of course. It's a universal story. I mean, Anne Frank, Rodney King, they're almost interchangeable.
Are you making fun of me?
Yeah. My God, listen to what you're saying. How dare you compare them to Anne Frank? They don't hide. They drive around in the open with automatic weapons. I'm the one living in fear I can't walk out my door at night.
And you blame these kids?
This was an A-list school before they came here, and look what they turned it into. I mean, does it make sense that kids who want an education should suffer because their high school gets turned into a reform school? Because kids who don't want to be here and shouldn't be here are forced to be here by the geniuses running the school district.
Okay, guys, gals, listen up. This is what I want you to do. I want each of you to step forward and take one of these Borders bags, which contain the 4 books we're going to read this semester. All right. They're very special books, and they each remind me in some way of each of you. But before you take the books, I want you to take one of these glasses of sparkling cider, and I want each of you to make a toast. We're each gonna make a toast for change. And what that means is, from this moment on, every voice that told you you can't is silenced. Every reason that tells you things will never change disappears. And the person you were before this moment, that person's turn is over. Now it's your turn. Okay?
My mom's kicked me out when I got jumped into the gang life. But I like her to see me graduate. I like to be 18.
Miss G, can I read something from my diary?
That'd be great.
Who is he?
Man, he's been with us since freshman year, fool.
What's his name?
I don't know.
The summer was the worst summer in my short 14 years of life. It all started with a phone call. My mother was crying and begging, asking for more time, as if she were gasping for her last breath of air. She held me as tight as she could and cried. Her tears hit my shirt like bullets and told me we were being evicted. She kept apologizing to me, I thought I have no home. I should have asked for something less expensive at Christmas. On the morning of the eviction, a hard knock on the door woke me up. The sheriff was there to do his job. I looked up at the sky, waiting for something to happen. My mother has no family to lean on, no money coming in. Why bother coming to school or getting good grades if I'm homeless? The bus stops in front of the school. I feel like throwing up. I'm wearing clothes from last year. Some old shoes and no new haircut. I kept thinking I'd get laughed at. Instead, I'm greeted by a couple of friends who were in my English class last year. And it hits me, Mrs. Gerwell, my crazy English teacher from last year, is the only person that made me think of hope. Talking with friends about last year's English and our trips, I began to feel better. I received my schedule, and the first teacher is Mrs. Gerwell in room 203. I walk into the room and feel as though all the problems in life are not so important anymore. I am home.